Welcome to New York Nonprofit Media. I'm here at NYN's TechCon event with hundreds of New York's nonprofit leaders talking about technology, and we just heard a wonderful keynote address from Minerva Tantoco, who is the first ever Chief Technology Officer of New York City. Thanks so much for being here, and I just wanted to take you aside and also ask question that I posed to Seth Andrew, who came from the White House earlier, about building a culture that is conducive to technological innovation at nonprofits. Many organizations, as you know, don't even have a CTO. They don't really have sort of the bare bones of technology that can really drive data solutions. So what advice would you give to nonprofit organizations about just starting to build that culture of technology?
I think that's a great question. Certainly inside New York City government, we're doing a lot of thought leadership work. We're holding some internal sort of conferences, as it were, around government tech and also innovation. So I've held a series of roundtables, for example, where we invite outside speakers to come and give us the latest and greatest on tech. Right. It tends to inspire a lot of thinking. Now we're thinking of even going further and maybe having little hackathons or joining little hackathons so people can really understand, what the new technology is like. I was recently at a policy hackathon, which I thought was cool. It didn't involve coding at all, but it was a kind of problem solving that you get in a room, you come up with a great solution, and then you present them in a kind of Shark Tank-like competition. Mm-hmm. I think those sorts of fun events that are both social and educational, I think could really be a great way to get non-technical folks in government and nonprofits to understand a bit more about the impact of technology on what they do.
Great. And what sort of thoughts do you have about how to better partner with community-based organizations in the technology sphere? You mentioned that so many low-income New Yorkers rely on mobile devices just for bare bones connection to the internet. What do you think that city agencies and nonprofits can do to better help their clients?
Right, so there was a study published in April of 2015 by the Pew Trust. I think you can do Pew Trust mobile dependence and find the study. And it was shocking that, of the folks whose only access to the internet is a mobile phone are disproportionately low income, low education attainment, blacks and Latinos. And so when you're thinking about digitizing what you're doing, sign up, here's how to get help, here's where information is. That's what a lot of nonprofit websites do. Think about that person whose only access to the internet may be a smartphone, or maybe not even a smartphone. And so I think one of the things that we're looking at is really reviewing the site just to see, not only is it mobile friendly, but basically mobile first. This notion that just assume the person, even people who have computers at home, their main interaction with the internet is going to be on the phone. And a lot of sites that I go to today don't have that. The other is the signups and information. It says online form and it's a PDF. So that has to be printed and signed. So again, how are you going to do that from a mobile phone? So it's just really thinking through from the user-centric perspective, how is it going to be to interact with this site on the phone?
Maybe as a final question, if you could speak a little bit about how the technology office at the city has sort of harnessed data analysis and data collection, and maybe in ways that nonprofit organizations can replicate or learn from.
Yeah, so we have in New York City the Mayor's Office of Data Analytics. It's led by the director Amin Ramashariki. He actually came from DC. He used to be the CTO at OPM. And the key idea behind that is that data is power. Data and information is knowledge. And you can use data to help make decisions about where you're going to put those resources to greatest impact. So I think that even some basic data science techniques would be of help, or using data that's available on the Open Data portal. A lot of nonprofits use our open data portal for information about demographics in that area, trends, crimes. Pretty much there's over 700 sets of data. I think maybe even more, 1,500 sets of data.
And you can access that through the CTO's website?
No, it's actually on its own open data website, nyc.gov/opendata.
Okay.
And it has all the data sets there that you can use. And I think also sharing data, finding out ways to share data. So what we do in the cities, we share data between agencies. That's also tremendously helpful. What's the link between, say, nutrition and school dropouts, right? And so you can kind of get that data together and look at it neighborhood by neighborhood and say, oh, this is where we could use a program for better nutrition. And that will likely impact, test scores, right? So this kind of thing is what data is really great for.
Great. Well, thanks so much for being here, and we'll look forward to following the work of your office some more.
Great. Thanks for having us.